Hello YouTube, Jeff Steele here with Steele Navigator. Today's video topic is towing a trailer with the Jeep Cherokee or Jeep XJ. So, the Jeep can tow a trailer. According to the manual, the 4-liter or inline 6 configured with the AW4 transmission can tow up to 5,000 pounds. It can, and I have personally towed up to 5,000 pounds. However, let me tell you, when we start to get up to that limit, it is not fun towing that kind of weight behind a stock Jeep Cherokee. It's just not. For multiple reasons. Can it tow? Yes. But as the operator, it's not fun. Oftentimes you're white knuckling, you're just on edge. It's tough on the vehicle. It can do it, but it's tough. I don't recommend it. If you're going short distances and it's maybe just here and there, sporadic, it's not so bad, but I would in no way, shape, or form do it on a regular basis. What type of weight does the Jeep Cherokee, the XJ, tow well? I would say 2,500 to 3,000 pounds or less. That weight or less, the Jeep does great. The main issue I have found is one, the weight of the Jeep. These Jeeps are extremely lightweight and short wheelbase. Those two factors make a big difference when towing a trailer. Also, these Jeeps are extremely under-braked from the factory. They do not stop well, even empty on their own. They're just under-braked by far. Also, the suspension, they're not really overbuilt as far as stock suspension. They're just not. Power is absolutely sufficient. The 4.0, super stout, that's not the issue. The AW4 transmission, super stout and tough, not the issue. Another issue is the gearing. These Jeeps were also under-geared from the factory. Most have 355 gears, which is good, but it would have been optimal had Chrysler installed from the factory as standard equipment at least 410 gears, anywhere from 410 to say 488s. I mean, I would honestly love to have 488s, but minimum 410. 355s are just, they get the job done, but it could just be way better, especially if anybody's going up from stock, putting on bigger tires and such. But we're just talking about a factory model here. So how can we maybe upgrade our Jeeps to make them trailer better? Again, they're not an optimal vehicle for towing, mostly because they're super lightweight. But outside of the weight issue, how can you improve the towing capabilities of a Jeep Cherokee? Number one is to make sure your Jeep is in tip-top perfect shape. Make sure your oil changes, oil filter, transmission fluid, transmission filter, gear dope, front and rear end. If you have four-wheel drive, the transfer case. Make sure those fluids are changed and filters changed regularly with the correct fluids, and be religious about it. Also, the tire inflation, check your PSIs every week. Also, before you tow a trailer, always do a pre-trip inspection on all of these things. Check your oil, check your tire pressures, check your transmission fluid, all of those things. I'm super religious about it. The gear dope, transfer case, transmission fluid, and filter get changed once a year and are checked every week as far as the transmission. And I'll usually at least check the transfer case fluid every oil change. It's pretty simple to do. So in regards to fuel, I know in the manual it says the Jeep is designed to run on 87 octane. Yes, you can keep rolling down the road with that. However, it also says that if you're towing a trailer and you experience any type of knocking, or if you're putting the vehicle under undue stress, to use a higher grade. It does say that in the manual. I personally put the absolute best fuel I can find in the Jeep. And that's the same way with the oil, the filter. I use AMSOIL oil and filter. And as far as the gasoline, I only run Shell Super 93 Nitro in this Jeep. I try to fill up no less than when I get to a quarter of a tank. I do not want to burn up a fuel pump, so I'll fill up when I hit about a quarter of a tank. And again, I only run Shell Super 93, best fuel on the market. I've done the research, that is the best, simple, point blank. Now, but on my first engine in the Jeep, before I got the new, when I first got the Jeep, I would run Kroger 93 octane, because I would save a ton of money getting the 3 cents off here and then the extra cents off, trying to save money. But I started having issues with my valves rattling. I could hear them rattling. When I switched to the Shell Super 93, yes, it's more expensive, but you know what? No more valve rattling. So fuel does matter. They say it doesn't, but it absolutely does. Every 1,500 miles, I run a can of Seafoam through the fuel tank right here. Fill up a full tank of fuel, put a whole can of Seafoam in it every 1,500 miles, once at an oil change and once mid-oil change. And I only run the best, the SAE 10W30 AMSOIL Signature Series oil and their EA filter. It is guaranteed for 15,000 miles, both the oil and the filter under extreme use, but I'm being even more cautious and still changing the oil and filter at 3,000 miles. Maybe I'm sure it can last longer, but considering they don't make these Jeeps anymore, it's very difficult to find one that's not rusted out and cut up. I don't want to take any chances with it. So that's why I baby it. And that is step number one with towing a trailer. So another upgrade you could do is you could get stiffer, tougher shocks and springs, such as the coil springs in the front, the leaf springs in the back. Okay, you could upgrade that. That would help dramatically with towing a trailer. And you could also spend $1,000 or $2,000 and upgrade your gear ratio. So if I'm at 355 now, I could go to 410 or even go up to say 488 gears. Make a huge difference with towing a trailer. Also, these Jeeps are known to overheat. So, with that said, plan your routes, avoid city driving as much as possible, especially and mountainous, hilly driving as much as possible when towing a trailer. When you stop at a stoplight or you're going to be stopped for an extended period of time and the Jeep is still running, pop it up in neutral. It will help the transmission cool. And don't run the air conditioning. That will also help. Install an aftermarket transmission cooler. That will help. You can also get aftermarket radiators that help the engines cool better. These Jeeps, and also get the best water pump that you can. Make a big difference. They are known to overheat. So if you can deal with the heat issue, that will absolutely help your trailering abilities. Brakes. You can upgrade your brakes. However, you might need to get bigger wheels. So stock Jeeps, most of them had 15-inch wheels, 15 or 16-inch wheels. You might need to upgrade those to put larger rotors and or calipers in, so you can upgrade that. The main thing that you cannot upgrade is the weight of the Jeep. These are small vehicles. They just are. I mean, if you have larger tires and wheels and lift kits, That's going to add a little bit of weight, but still, it's short wheelbase. They're just lightweight vehicles. They're just not designed. They're not optimal vehicles for towing. They can and will do it, and they do pretty good at towing 3,000 pounds or less. But when you get from there up to 5,000, which is the limit, it's just not a fun experience, and it can be dangerous depending on how and where you're driving. So this is, and always monitor your gauges when you're towing, okay? Make sure your reads are good. Always monitor, and if you have any type of leaks, I always check my fluids once a week, but if you have any type of leaks whatsoever, especially the rear main, anytime you stop, say midweek or mid-trip, if you're taking a long trip, check the oil, check transmission fluid, just do it. It's better to be safe than sorry. So this is a video on towing with the Jeep Cherokee, Jeep XJ. And this really could be applied to Wrangler with a similar type platform. Comment down below. I'll put links down below for the items that will help your Jeep, which things that I use on this Jeep, sound better and more power and fuel economy. Tap the thumbs up icon, subscribe if you would. I thank you for watching. Have a great day.